Yeah. You ready? All right, we're calling to order the meeting for the Michigan City Fire Merit Commission. The date is December 7th, 2021. It is 5 p.m. and would everybody stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm not here. Roll call. Mr. Nyleb.
Present.
Mr. Deutscher.
Present.
Mr. Williams.
Present.
Mr. Pollack.
Present.
And I'm Rick Jackson. I'm here. Approval of minutes from our last meeting. Has everybody had a chance to go over the minutes? Does anyone want to make a motion?
I'll move that we approve the regular meeting minutes from November.
Okay.
I'll second.
So I have a motion by Mr. Pollack, a second by Mr. Williams. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Motion pass. Communications and claims. Mr. Pollack?
Start with the payroll. In terms of the board itself, we get paid for both November and December in the month of December. So I will make the motion that the payroll for the Fire Merit Commission for both November and December be approved. If you recall, what happens is we don't get paid in January, so we're always a month behind. We catch up in December. So the total will come out to $1,500, $750 for November and $750 for December. The attorney, which has been approved for November, will get $500. Total amount in terms of the approval, $2,000. Move the approval.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Pollack. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Nyleb. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passed.
The last part of my presentation has to do with the budget. Currently, our usage as computed stands at 80%. That represents $26,011.20. Ultimately, at the end, putting the payrolls that we just approved, plus the FICA tax that is paid by the employer, which in this case is us, it's $2,114.80 added to the $26,011.20. We will expend approximately $28,126 for the year, and that will put us at 86.8% of our budget. Now, we do have the secretary and Jenny looking around to see if there's some things that we could kind of slide in just before the end of the year, but right now it appears that we will use about 86.8% of our budget.
Very good. Do you need a motion for that or anything?
Motion to approve the budget report.
Okay. Motion by Mr. Pollack. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Williams. All those in favor? Aye. Motion pass. Anything else?
No, that's all. Well, the only thing I do want to mention is, in terms of next year's budget, and we'll talk about this when we meet in January, we have 6 people, and by some calculations that I'm looking at, we may have to replace more than 6 people. So we've got 6 people in the budget. That's what went in June, and that's what everybody approved. So there's a second problem with that. In June, the rate of inflation was running at about 2.5%. Right now, it's running at about 8%. And there was nothing in that budget for inflation. So we could have some significant problems toward the end of the year, especially if we have to send 7, 8 people to school in terms of getting their requirements. So what I'm looking at is there could be a significant situation, and we might have to ask for additional funds. Just thought I'd let everybody know that.
Okay.
That doesn't bother me. We've had to write letters before, so.
Any other communications? Moving on. Report from City Council representative. He's not here. Report from the Commission attorney. She's not here. Something came up at the last minute. She did call me just a little bit ago. Report from Union Local 475.
I don't think we had anything to report.
Okay. Thank you. Report from the fire chief. Mr. Bruder, you're filling in for the chief?
Yes, Jeff Bruder, Fire Marshal, filling in for Chief Legault tonight. Couple things that we have. Lieutenant Andre Glover, his resignation date is tomorrow, 2021, December 8th. We'll need a motion to accept his resignation. We need the next lieutenant and driver operator on the list.
So let's do this step by step.
Okay.
First of all, is there a motion to accept the resignation?
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. Pollock. Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Niob. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And please wish him congratulations from the commission.
Absolutely. We need the next lieutenant and driver operator off the list.
To be promoted into the
Promoted.
spots. Is there a
So
motion? I have a motion by Mr. Pollock. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Deutscher. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then
Motion
lastly, for
passed.
motions, we need the next name on the list for firefighter for hire.
So moved.
So a motion by Mr. Pollock to bring on the next name on the list. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Deutscher. All those in favor? Aye. Motion passed. So you get all three.
Perfect. Anniversaries. Driver Chris Hartsburg, driver operator Chris Hartsburg is 27 years. Driver operator Tyler Craigbaum, 5 years. Firefighter Alfonso Bray, 5 years. Firefighter Tia Free, 3 years. Firefighter Randall Hallett, 3 years. Firefighter Austin Swistek, 3 years. Firefighter Brian Gonzalez, 3 years. And firefighter Jory Palmer, 3 years. I'd like to take a moment to recognize them for sticking around for anniversaries.
3 years. Congratulations,
That's
Mr.
good.
Palmer. So, and congratulations to everybody else, too.
That's all we have from the chief's office.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Bruder. Old business. Commissioners, do we have any old business? So under old business, it's going to be old business / new business. We need to make sure that everybody understands that we are hiring, and we did get a motion at one of the former meetings that our cutoff for this next hiring phase is January 1st, right, Charles? Isn't that what we decided? Mr. Pollock, was it January 1st or December 31st?
I thought have we advertised?
We'll advertise now, because we're doing it from now all the way through the end of this month, the month of December, correct?
Well, with Christmas and everything, you know,
Do you want to extend it a little bit further?
Yeah, maybe
Because all we're
so.
looking for is a cutoff date.
yeah.
Mr. Nyland,
Question, where does our list stand right now after we're going to take one more off for
it leaves you with 2.
2? So we need to start making a list.
Absolutely.
Right.
Right.
Do we have any idea how many applications we have right now?
About 10?
About 10, yeah.
So
Yeah, about 10 that we've gotten in over the
Course of,
course
frankly,
of the
we
year.
could use, I mean, it would be good to use more than 10. I'd like to see us go in with at least 30, statistically based on situations that we've been through before, because if we start out with 30 applications at the end, we're probably going to wind up just statistically with what's happened before with maybe 9 or 10 between people who don't show up, who can't pass the academic test, who can't pass the physical agility test, who can't do a ladder climb. We've lost people all along the way to all of those. So I'd like to see us start with at least 30 applications. If we don't start with that many, I think we're going to be in trouble. We're going to be turning around doing it right again.
I'd say I'll make a motion to extend it to January 10th.
10th of January?
10th of January, yes, of
That's,
2022.
we can extend it to 10th of January. That's the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Okay, so I've got a motion by Mr. Deutscher to extend it till the 10th, and a second by Mr. Pollock. All those in favor?
Aye.
Could I just say one thing? Our best source of applications has actually been the fire department. So if you've got friends out there, people you know that might be interested, and pass this to your friends on the fire department, tell them to talk to those people about getting an application in. Because frankly, we've gotten more applications from people in the fire department telling others about the fire department than we have from any other source.
A couple of these guys are going, you don't want them,
They pick the application up here now, or do they pick it still up at City Hall?
Actually, they can go online. They go online and they go under the Michigan City Fire Merit Commission, and there's an application that explains the whole process. So it's important that they follow what the directions are, because Charles would spend a lot of time, I've spent a lot of time going through these applications, and they're not doing what they're told to do. So that can make a big difference. So we're going to push it back till January 10th. And I'll look into putting a ad together again and seeing what that's going to cost.
Well, my suggestion would be we take a look at social media, because the News Dispatch, Herald Dispatch, sorry about that, has really not done much for us in terms of getting applications. So if there's some way we can do it through social media. Now, we also need to talk to the attorney, because there may be some law in the state of Indiana that says we have to advertise in a newspaper in the county of general circulation.
Our ordinance says we have to advertise.
So
Yeah.
as a result of that, we might also want to look at the Westfall Indicator and get rates. Because I think there must have been about 25, 30 people 2 times ago, and I asked how many people actually read the Herald Dispatch. And there was 2 of us that put up our hand.
Okay. All right. Anything else for that?
No.
Okay. So next, under old business / new business, we have promotional testing this year, or this coming year. So we need to figure out, do we want to use the same company that we used last year, or do we want to switch companies?
Well, frankly,
Discussion?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't know, because I wasn't on the board last year, to how that company worked out.
Well, I thought it worked out a lot better than the situation previously for a number of reasons. Now, we heard that the test was a little more difficult, but since we're getting, it's not one that's an absolute value in terms of promotions. It's a sliding scale depending on how well you do.
It's not a pass-fail.
Pardon?
It's not a pass-fail
Right,
test.
it's not a pass-fail.
Based upon how well you do.
It's on how well you do against the competition.
Right.
And I think you're going to find that the people will become more familiar with the difficulty and probably study a little harder. We had other problems with the prior testing situation that were really difficult to try to solve, so I think this was a better situation. And in addition to that, we also put money in it to have that company grade the test rather than us try to grade the test, and I think that's much better.
Does anybody want to look into different companies? Let's go that route. Does anybody want to take the time to call around and...
I'm not familiar with the firefighters, how it was for them. I like to find out how it was for the firefighters, because the big argument, I believe, with the other one is they felt that it wasn't done correctly, the company prior to this one, and if they're okay with it, I don't see why we should change it. You know?
So-
Engineers had a lot of problems with it, because of the math problems on it, and the verbal problem. But they know now.
Right.
I'll make a motion that we use the same test.
I'll second it.
So I have a motion by Mr. Deutscher and a second by Mr. Pollock to use the same testing companies in the past. Any discussion? Okay, for the vote, Mr. Nyla,
Yes.
Mr. Deutscher,
Yes.
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Pollock,
Yes.
and I'll say yes. So the company is going to be the URE company. Second part of this,
You already coming.
Second part of this is, on the last one, I heard from firefighters, because what they did is, and I don't know computer software that well, but I take it there's a memory stick or something you can put into a computer and it will download what they needed to study. we want the actual materials in each firehouse. Not a download stick, so we may have to put out a little bit of money to get these books and stuff in here. But it was harder, because if somebody's there and they've got the computer tied up at the stations, they didn't get there was a complaint that they didn't get the amount of time that they wanted to be able to study this. So I want to make sure that they actually have the physical materials, the books, whatever it is. So that way there's
So
no...
anybody can buy one of those sticks if they want to take it off the computer, download it to theirs, and go home and take it and put it on their computer and study if they want, along with the books that are going to be inside the stations.
Well, and I don't know how all that works, but the last time, for some reason, they did not get to take the sticks and copy them. So it was the fact that literally the sticks were sent out to the stations and they didn't get to use them. There was a few books there, but that was just there. I want to cover all the bases and make sure that these guys all get a fair shot all the way across the board. So I'll call and get a new list of exactly what's on the tests.
If we can get it done, I mean, by this year's end, to use the percentage of the budget that we have left, and we probably wisely to do.
Yep. So I'll get on the phone and see if I can get a phone call into them and see if they're still good with that, and get the materials headed this way. Any other discussion? All right, next on the agenda, was there any other old business? Any new business? Public comment? Public comment? Public comments closed. Commission comments? Commissioners?
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
So, for me, to the firemen, Bruder, you guys did an awesome job in the parade, as usual. It was cool, everything looked good, so
Pass it on.
good job there. Make sure everybody knows we appreciate it. And last but not least, a special thank you to Charles Williams. This is going to be his last meeting. He's going to drop out of the commission.
All right.
So
Commission's up, so 9 years.
he said he had enough. So thank you. You did a great job. If you need something, let us know.
I have to second that. I really appreciated having you with us.
Thank you.
Anything else, guys?
No?
All right. Looking for an adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion adjourned.
Okay. Motion by Mr. Niles, second by Mr. Pollock. All those in favor?
All right.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.